The Essex Ravens made the trip into Ron Joyce Stadium at McMaster University in Week 6 to take on the Hamilton Ironmen. The game featured the first time former Essex quarterback and current Ironmen head coach Kyle Quinlan would face his former team. The Ironmen came into Week 6 searching for their first win of the 2014 summer, while the Ravens have established themselves through 5 weeks of play as one of the OVFL's very best. Matthew Speakman looked to carry over momentum from his Week 5 interception against the Niagara Spears, and OVFL Live Player of the Week Eli Farah continues to dominate the OVFL with insane statistics through 5 weeks. Although the matchup appeared lopsided, the Ravens still got pumped up for kickoff, looking to flex their muscle and stay atop the Adams Conference standings. The Ironmen took the ball to start the game and created instant offense. On the third play of the game, Darius Lemiere completed a 75-yard bomb to Angelo Del Sordo, leaving coaches Glenn Mills and Joe Milnarich pondering how to avoid Hamilton's quick strike offense from sustaining. On the ensuing kickoff, Tyrell Davis shot back, giving the Ravens ideal field position. Brandon Rayome connected on his first throw of the afternoon to Chris Juilliard for the 25-yard gain. Feeding off the passing game, Farah got his wheels turning, taking the counter play off to the left side for the 12-yard pickup before bouncing the rock outside to the right with exceptional blocking from Juilliard downfield. From there, Farah would walk in on the zone read, handing Essex the first points of the evening. Lemiere and the Hamilton offense went back to work, looking to duplicate the success of the first drive. Darius found Vinny DiDiomede over the middle, but on the next 2 plays, the Essex defense would assert themselves. First, Rick Van Espen chasing down Brandon Gamble for the loss. Then the entire D-line crashing in on Lemiere for the first sack of the game, led by OVFL Live Player of the Week, Colin L'Esperance. With the Ironman staff screaming out directions, the Hamilton front 7 continued to hold Eli Farah below his insane game-to-game averages. Lemiere again found his man in the middle and DiDiomede before Angelo Del Sordo began to dance before being brought down a couple of inches short of the first down. On 4th and short, Lemiere would be stuffed by the Essex defense before gaining a yard when DiDiomede shoved him across the first down line. L'Esperance continued to eat double teams and slide off, making plays in the Hamilton backfield, and that pressure began to come from all angles as Lemiere went incomplete on 3rd down, finishing the day 10 for 24 for 182 yards against a difficult Ravens defense. On the ensuing punt, Jeffrey Beattie caught the high snap and tried to kick the ball away, but was immediately tracked down by the speedy Tariq Bonas. At the end of the first quarter, the score remained tied at 7s. To start the second, Rayome rolled out to his right, connecting with Davis down the sideline, igniting the Raven offense, which needs no open flame to score points. Farah took off for his second largest gain of the day, down to the 15-yard line. Then the early momentum shift. Rayome threw the pig spin up for grabs, and Davis stole it away from Bryden McLaughlin before fighting his way into the end zone for the 14-7 Ravens lead. In an attempt to capitalize on momentum, Essex went for the surprise onside kick. Hamilton would recover, but on the next play, Lemiere's pass slipped through the hands of Del Sordo into the waiting arms of Caden Walls, who would happily find nothing in front of him but open turf and a maroon end zone to dance in. After the pick six, Lemiere would again be dropped by Nick Simone, and Austin Persix would take the punt back the other direction for the huge Raven gain. From there, Essex began to get their playmakers in space when Chris Tanus took the jet sweep across the right edge, found a cutback lane, and headed upfield for the 26-yard Essex gain. That's when Eli Farah and his dominant offensive line went to work. Here, Farah carrying Dezane Brooks towards the end zone. Then Tanus took a jet sweep the other direction, coming up just short. After a penalty, Daniel Fascioni would record his 6th straight week with a quarterback sack while chasing down Rayome. But the Raven pivot would regain his composure and scamper down the sideline for the Ravens touchdown, 27-7 Essex. With the Ravens in full beast mode, Lemiere evaded the rush, keeping his eyes downfield, finding Brett Haynes before hitting Haynes on a short out for another first down 2 plays later. While Coach Mills continued to motivate his defense, the Essex DBs seemed to have had enough of the Ironman aerial attack, hammering Donta Smith. A Beattie field goal attempt would sail wide left, leading to a solid return as a flock of Ravens continued to dominate in all 3 aspects of the game. To end the half backed up, Essex began what appeared as a fairly harmless drive attempt with a quick out to the sideline. But then the offense hit the nos and was too fast, too furious. Yeah, I just dated myself. For the Ironmen defense. Rayum scrambled several times on the drive, extending the play and showing a great level of quarterback IQ in deciding when to run and when to pass. Rayum was complimented on the drive by major contributions from Drouillard and Davis. After driving to the 2-yard line, Coach Mills called in the jumbo package, and with 8 seconds remaining in the half, Jordan Thrasher cemented the touchdown drive for the 35-7 Raven lead at the half as the Essex Ravens staff continued to push their athletes to improve. Coach Mills at the half.
We're going to go back with that first group that started, and then the second series, we're switching up all the guys and receivers on. I'll give you the group second one. And we're going to flip-flop it like that all the way through the rest of the game. Same with running back, we're going to utilize different guys here, okay? Alrighty? Hey, but if you're not busting your ass, you're coming up. And that's going to be your opportunity. I'm not watching guys blocking, I'm not watching guys not blocking. That's not going to happen. Alright? So the expectation is the same regardless of who's in there.
To start the third, Rayum again showed off his wheels en route to a 15-yard gain. On the play, Ironman sackmaster Daniel Fascioni fell to the ground with an apparent hamstring strain. He would not return to action on this night. Then the weirdest play of the game. Rayum gets pressured and throws up one to the heavens. It's intercepted on a questionable call of possession before the ball is stripped, and Davis promptly recovers and goes yard. But after all of that, the play would be called back on account of clipping by the great Jake Ireland. A few plays later, the Ironmen would force their second turnover of the day when the Essex backfield botched the read handoff and Jacob Matthews recovers. A rare Essex turnover. But the Raven defense answered the call when Donald Mensah passed his own quiz, reaching up to make a play on the Lemire offering, giving the Ravens fantastic field position and the ball once again. Thrasher got loose for the 18-yard pickup, while heart and soul of the Ironmen, Vinny Di Diomede, added defensive end responsibilities to his usual running back duties for the second half. And Vinny was not there to hold him in place as he flew through the Essex line to bring down the high-flying Ravens running attack. Colin Lesperance would continue his internal dominance, stuffing any and all Ironmen rushing attempts on the evening, before Thrasher took off to the left, sprinting away from would-be defenders before finally reaching resistance and saying, "Can't touch this, no. Another Ravens rushing touchdown. With the 403 in plain sight, the Ravens began to run over the Ironmen like roadkill in the fourth, repeatedly asserting their skill and continual effort throughout the fourth quarter to create another 2 majors and a huge gain through the air to complement their stellar ground attack. Your final score from Ron Joyce Stadium at McMaster University, Essex Ravens 51, Hamilton Ironmen 7 in a dominant performance. Essex defensive coordinator Joe Milnarich, on the team, the win, his star running back, and the internal competition that exists for the Essex Ravens.
Practice, we're getting 55, 60 kids out of every practice because they know if they slip up at any time, there's a guy right behind them ready to take their spot. And that's kind of what we've been preaching all year is we want to compete every down, every practice, every game. And for the most part, we've been doing that. Yeah, Eli's a 6-year guy. He played for our very first Pee Wee team that we had. And so he's grown up in our system. And, he's just a guy that comes to work every day. And, if you look at him outside of football, he doesn't look like much. He's 5'10", 185 pounds, and doesn't run too fast. But he straps on the helmet and he becomes a football player. And he's just that. He's a great football player. We need to get better every play. That's our goal. Is every time that we step on that field, every play that we take, every rep that we take in practice, the goal is to get better than we were before we started that rep. And that's the goal. It's a lofty goal, but it's something that we have to strive for if we want to get to where we want to be. Just because we're up on a team, and maybe you're a backup right now. But we have to hold our backups to the same standards we hold our starters because it's across the board for everybody. And I think, as a coaching staff, we believe that's what makes better players. And we're going to make better players from our second and third teamers that are going to fight because they know they have that shot. All it takes is a slip up from a guy above them and they're getting in the game.
To put it in one quick thought, what makes this team so good?
I think you just said that they're a team. I think they understand where we're at and where we want to go, and they want to play together as a team.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the OVFL Live podcast on our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at OVFL_live. For OVFL Live, I'm Marshall Ferguson.